This is not financial advice, not legal advice, for entertainment, educational purposes only, and anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. Listen, Gary Gensler and the SEC was attacking XRP and Ripple at the bequest of the banks. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind about that. The banks know that everything that's going on in the crypto market, especially with XRP, it's going to hasten their demise. Okay? The banks know that people are sick and tired of being taken advantage of by the banks. We know the banks are always severely over leveraged. We know that the FDIC does not have enough money to make everybody whole if the banks go under. And everybody started moving towards crypto, towards blockchain. And the banks knew it was coming. They knew years ago. And that's why they put pressure on Gary Gensler and the SEC to try to hold back XRP and Ripple as much as possible. But what did Ripple do? They went overseas. They built strategic partnerships. And they got the confidence of all these other governments, institutions, and banks all over the world except for the United States of America. But what the banks, the legacy banks, Citibank, Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, what they were afraid of is losing the new customers, the Generation Z, the Millenniums, and that is exactly what's happening. Their biggest fear is happening right before their eyes because 89% of Generation Z and the Millenniums want to move away from traditional banks and move more into the crypto space. And that's what's terrified the banks. That's why they've been fighting to suppress Ripple and XRP for the last 5 to 10 years. And here's the thing. The banks know that it's over. They know that it's over. And they're trying to get into the stable coin. They're trying to get into the crypto. But it's not going to help them, in my opinion. And I'm not telling you to buy, hold, or sell any crypto. I'm not telling you to buy, hold, or sell any stable coin. But why would regular consumers use the bank stable coins? How does that benefit us? It doesn't. Okay? It doesn't benefit any retail person, any U.S. citizen, any resident, anybody around the world to use the bank stable coin. If you hold XRP, then what stable coin should you be using? I believe RLUSD, and I'm not telling anybody to use a stable coin or not use a stable coin. What I'm telling you is this, that everyday investors, everyday consumers get absolutely no benefit whatsoever out of using bank stable coins. And the banks know it. The banks know that their time is coming to an end. And they knew this years ago. They knew it years ago, and they tried to slow it down. They knew they couldn't stop it, but they tried to slow it down using the SEC, using Gary Gensler. But the party's over for the banks. Every single quarter, the banks are losing more customers to SoFi, to online banks. And we all know if Ripple becomes a bank, if you think they're losing a lot of customers now, if Ripple become a bank, 89% of Generation Z and the Millenniums are going to go over to the Ripple bank. That's what I believe. And I'm not telling anybody to use a bank or not use a bank. I'm just telling you that the banks have lost our confidence. We know that they help and finance these bad actors that are robbing and stealing from us. And we need a change. We need a change. And we believe, a lot of people, myself included, believe the change is XRP and Ripple. We believe that's the change that we need to move us into the 22nd century. Okay? Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, they're going to go the way of the dinosaurs. Okay? They're going to go the way of the dinosaurs, and they know it. And that's why 89% of Generation Z and Millenniums are going to be using crypto. They're going to be using crypto banks. And 5 years from now, a lot of these banks, unless they make some drastic changes, are going to be out of business. Anyway, please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Why do you think 89% of Generation Z and Millenniums want to move from traditional banks? Have they lost confidence? Anyway, have a great day. God bless, and I appreciate y'all on this journey with me.